welcome to Night Combos.
Welcome back. Hubby's here.
Hey, hubby.
Hey, Lovey.
Hey, y'all. Thank you so much for watching our videos. We truly appreciate y'all so much because we are trying so hard to get our views up on all of our videos. So thank you so much to all of you that watch our videos and enjoy our videos. Thank you so much to all of our subscribers that's been with us from the beginning all the way to now. Thank you so much to all of our new subscribers. Welcome. We greatly appreciate all of you. And we hope all of you continue to love and enjoy all of our content that's about Gypsy and even the non-Gypsy content that we've been working on that we're coming out with soon. We'll probably make posts, though, come to think of it, about non-Gypsy content. That way y'all will know what video is coming up and when to expect it, so that y'all kind of have a little bit of a notification beforehand, so that y'all know what the video is and what's coming up. Because we know some of y'all have been waiting on certain videos and stuff, and we apologize for that. But anyway, thank you so much to all of you. And if you're not already, please make sure you subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our videos. Comment your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and we'll be conversating with y'all as well in the comment section, just like always. And we would greatly appreciate it so much. And we are working on the live thing, going live through a live streaming thing so that we can go live and talk about some stuff. And all of you are welcome. Please come and join our live when we do post that we're going to be going live and stuff, and come have discussions with us about different things, about different topics. And if y'all have questions for hubby or I or both of us or whatever, y'all can come and ask us questions, just whatever. But anyway, we'll get into that more in a different video. But we're going to jump straight into part 11 of Gypsy's book, and we'll be showing y'all some pictures and stuff that go along with some of the stuff that she's talking about in this part of the book. And before we start, we do have a shout out to give, but we'll do that in a separate video because not everybody really likes watching the book videos for their own personal reasons, and we completely understand. So we don't do any type of shout outs or anything like that in the videos that cover the book, unless someone specifically asks us to, then we will. But yeah, and also you have to let us know if you want us to say your name, otherwise we won't say your name. But just wanted to throw that out there real quick. But okay, we're fixing to start section 11, chapter 11, part 11, whatever you want to call it, because she don't call it none of those things. She just says 11. So we're going to start at the beginning.
11. The movie theater. Nick and I wanted to be together, and we both wanted me out of my mother's grip. He could protect me by taking me away, by moving me to Wisconsin with him, and by sharing a life with me. So we talked about the options we could exercise to make that happen, as we tried to manipulate the mangled parts of my life into a more pleasant shape. We didn't have a master plan. It wasn't anything like that, like planning a jewelry heist with several plots or run-throughs. I had been a hopeless, sheltered girl who had found hope in Nick, and then lost that hope all over again, when my mother's physical abuse reinforced the electric fence that she had activated after the Dan debacle. It wasn't one discussion like, okay, how do we get rid of your mom? They were gradual conversations that were baked into an elaborate fantasy world Nick created. He shared with me that he got sexually aroused when he fantasized about murdering and raping his ex-girlfriend, but our plot was more reminiscent of a soap opera. I got it, I said to Nick, brainstorming an idea for one option. You can come visit me in the middle of the night, and when Mom is asleep, I'll wheel down the wheelchair ramp, and you and I will sneak to the backyard. We'll have sex and you will get me pregnant, and then Mama will have to let me be with you. As the father, she will have to accept you. I shoplifted prenatal pills and a pregnancy test and posted it on my secret Facebook page, where I was friends with Nick's mom. She called Nick. What is Gypsy doing? Okay, that's not a good plan. Nick said his mother was not pleased and warned him not to get me pregnant. It is eerie how this story is almost exactly the same as when Grandma Sharon warned my dad against Mama trying to get pregnant because of a library book. I'm not sure why I thought Mama would be on board with a pregnancy. When she accused me of having sex with Dan, even though I swore up and down nothing happened, she said she'd make me have an abortion if I was pregnant. Nick was right. Pregnancy wouldn't work. I I really had to dig in to try to understand what my mother's big issue about me dating was. Her control and abuse had moved outside the realm of my health and was more preoccupied with my social interactions, especially romantic ones, which my maturing body and mind naturally craved. Was she afraid of being abandoned by me? That I'd meet a man, make a family, and forget all about her? Was it that she would be jealous or feel left out of my life in some way? My thought process was so desperate. I thought if I could figure out a way to placate her emotional needs, there would be a way for me to create a win-win situation, one in which I was happy with Nick and my mother could feel like an active participant in my life. I continued brainstorming with Nick, coming up with what I thought was the best idea yet. What if we accidentally meet up and pretend we just met, and Mama would see that we really like each other and let us date? Like pretend we're strangers who bump into each other, like love at first sight, he asked. Exactly. Mama and I go to the movies a lot. So maybe you can come down when we see the new Cinderella movie, and then you are just there in the lobby, and we accidentally meet, like bump into each other. This meet cute idea made sense to me at the time. Mama wanted to be a part of my life and wouldn't let go. So what if I baked her into the origin story? The first time Nick and I met, Mama was there. I would say at our wedding, with Mama by my side, happily taking credit for my happiness. I was delusional to think Mama would find peace in knowing she was a part of us and not feel alienated or threatened in any way. But I figured our love story would be her story as much as it was mine. She could own it. We shared everything after all, so this had to be the answer. I had to share my experience with Nick with her to appeal to her ego, so she wouldn't feel excluded or worse, replaced. At least that's what I thought she needed in order to let me date him. I was trying to get her approval in my life in any way, just so Nick could somehow be integrated. It was when she felt excluded or she felt I was leaving her that she'd unleash her wrath. Nick made an addition to our meet cute plan. I will take your virginity at the movie theater, he said, with lust in his voice, and you will be mine forever. I will own you. At this point, I wanted to give him my virginity, mostly because I wanted that part over with. I thought this was my one and only chance, especially as I was finally getting to be with Nick in real life. This is something we have to do now, I thought. We promised we would figure out a way for us to meet in the bathroom during the movie. So on March 12, 2015, I dressed up in a Cinderella costume dress and tiara to accompany Mama to the live-action version of Cinderella. We were regulars at the movie theater in Springfield, and we were greeted by the staff with the usual enthusiasm they'd shown for us ever since we moved to town. It was like any other day, except I had cramps from being on my period. I double-dosed on Oxy to help with the cramps. My diaper felt particularly sticky against the flammable polyester material of my princess dress. The damn diaper was riding up on me, and I felt like I already needed to change. I looked around eagerly, wishing I didn't feel so gross, because my Prince Charming was literally going to appear, as planned, any second. I smiled and wheeled slowly through the lobby. In seconds, my life would change forever. And as promised, Nick appeared. He was a terrible actor, as he awkwardly came over and said hello to me. Looking back now, I can see how transparent the whole scene was, and my mother didn't buy any of it. I wanted to sit with Nick, and she demanded I stay with her. She thought he was creepy. Why is this single adult man at a kids' movie? She had already figured Dan to be a pedophile, and considering both of our histories with Claude, I didn't think Mama's concern about Nick was far off. I told her I was going to the bathroom. She let me go alone. Looking back now, I don't know why she did. Was it a trap? Did she want to give me enough rope to hang myself? If she didn't let me go, she wouldn't have been able to punish me. Or did she really let her guard down? After Dan, I didn't think that was possible. Prepared to be transformed by my first sexual encounter, I wheeled into the men's bathroom, and Nick fell in line, following me into the wheelchair-accessible stall. If my mother came looking for me, I knew she wouldn't go into the men's bathroom. It was exciting. After almost a year of a virtual relationship, to be in the flesh together felt like a dream. We kissed awkwardly, not too slow, because we knew we had to be quick. As his hands glided down and underneath my princess dress, I winced when his hand froze. I sensed his brain trying to register what his fingers were feeling as he inched them down the front of my not sexy underwear, but a diaper. And the moisture he felt was not due to the heat he was producing inside me, but blood. Nick went limp. He saw my diaper and the blood, and without the need for my explanation, he put two and two together. I tried to touch him to help him regain an erection, but there was nothing I could do to help him unseat a grown woman bleeding into a diaper. In the name of his owning me, Nick pressed his softness against me and tried to stuff himself inside me, unable to penetrate me with his power. I wheeled out of the stall, technically still a virgin. Nick said we were married now, because what we just did, according to him, was sex. The credits began to roll when Mama found me where I had been seated with Nick, and she looked blankly at me. Nick tried to make small talk, but she just walked out of the movie theater and then out of the front doors of the IMAX building. I better go, I said to Nick, a nervousness rising within me. He escorted me to the front doors and told me he'd call me when he got on the bus back to Wisconsin. I had bought him the bus ticket since he didn't work. He told me he used to have a job being the guy who held up the Little Caesars sign on the major roads, but that didn't work out. He spent a lot of time.
Sorry, y'all. Okay, so she starts out by saying they both wanted Gypsy out of her mother's grip. Now, we got this screenshot from MPG Cornerstone's YouTube channel, but it was their plans, plan A, B, C, D, E. Really, it's Gypsy's plan. Y'all hear more in the second half of this section, but you can see plan A was send flowers to mom from, quote, Nick. Plan B, to get pregnant. Plan C, run away together. Plan D, the, quote, deed with the unaliving. Plan E, call the police. Why wasn't plan A, call the police?
I know, right?
If she knew she could call the police, why didn't she call the police? That's always been a question of mine. But anyway, she talks about one of the plans that she herself came up with was for Nick to get her pregnant. You can clearly see all of this mess was Gypsy's doings. Anyway, how are you going to sneak out the house during the night, Gypsy, when you said your mom had put bells on the door? Which y'all just now, which I just now, thought about this. It also makes me think about this. Gypsy said her mom did that after the whole Dan thing and also chained her up. If she was chained up, why would her mom have to worry about putting bells on the doors? Make it make sense. My goodness.
You can't.
You really can't. You really can't. But I just thought about that. It's pretty weird. Well, kinda, not really. I mean, we all know she lies. So, moving on. Gypsy says she shoplifted prenatals and an HPT, or home pregnancy test, and posted it on a private Facebook page. Again, Gypsy, you said your mom smashed the laptop and track phone. Make it make sense. And why post it on Facebook? Sounds just like what she did to Ryan, remember?
Yep.
Except she posted a positive HPT, or home pregnancy test, to the private Facebook account, then claimed she was hacked to Ryan. This all sounds so familiar, but wonder why.
Because you're still doing all of this today.
Yeah, the exact same things. Who did you want to see that post and why? What do y'all honestly think? We really want to know. Nick's mom saw it and was not pleased. Well, I guess not. I wouldn't be either. They're dip. And she warned him not to get you pregnant.
Exactly what Rana should have done with Kenny Boy.
Yeah, you're right. For real. That's exactly what she should have told him, what Raina should have told Kenny Boy. I think she tried to tell both of them, though, to take it slow. She definitely told Ken that. And I remember her saying that on a live somewhere. And I think she told both of them, I believe, because Gypsy was married and with Ryan at the time, or either she had just left him. I'm not sure. I think it was right after she left Ryan and all that stuff. But Gypsy's Chad Ken should have listened to his mom, is the point. What do y'all think? Also, Gypsy, you never thought your mom would be on board with you getting pregnant. You just wanted to for the attention of the pregnancy. Same thing as now, in my opinion, not the love of a child. We don't know what your mom was thinking about any of your questions about did she think you would have a family and forget about her, etc., and on and on. And we darn sure can't ask her because you unalived her. I don't believe she would have made her get an A done or unalive her unborn baby. But then again, we don't know because of the whole nun thing. If so, maybe it would have been because she knew she couldn't take care of you and a baby who was also acting like a baby. Again, we don't know that because she's not here, Gypsy. I swear, I could not bear the thought of not having our moms or dads,
No.
for that matter. Like, really, our hearts truly do go out to those of you who don't have a parent or either parent anymore, or a loved one, period, for that matter. Gypsy goes on to say, though, that she continued to brainstorm. She did. She said she continued to brainstorm with Nick so she could come up with the best idea yet. All of this was Gypsy. Do y'all think the same thing? Then she says Nick was the normal one who came up with the idea of let's pretend to meet up and act like we don't know each other and then become friends, which actually worked. Just like the other things Nick said in his interrogation that were not lies, unlike Gypsy, who lied the whole time. He told investigators Dee Dee actually liked him and that he thought she liked him and was nice to him. It was said she even bragged about him to friends and neighbors. As crazy as it may sound, Gypsy is not a very good liar, don't y'all think? She claims she wanted to give Nick her virginity. Well, Gypsy, you only get one. You can't give your virginity out like candy. What the heck, y'all? Y'all, besides the fact of her wearing a diaper, how would it be sticking to her dress because of her bleeding from her period? I don't understand it. I'm seriously asking, like,
maybe it was that full. Heck, I don't know.
Me either. Maybe, but I don't know. Me either. What do y'all think? Because she said the dang diaper was riding up on her, which we all know how she treated Dee Dee. So in my opinion, I think she could have demanded that her mom at least get her some pads, if not tampons, since her mom may have thought she was too small down there. You know what I'm saying, y'all? But Gypsy says she didn't think her mom's concerns about Nick being creepy were far off. So, meaning Gypsy thought Nick was a little bit creepy as well. Yet she still went to the bathroom to have sex with Nick. How much sense does that make, y'all? She then decides to talk even more about her period diaper and how the moisture he was feeling was not due to the heat he was producing inside her, but the blood. Again, Gypsy, not a book for survivors of abuse, and definitely not a book for your child, their children, and their children's children, as you say, are going to care. Like, none of them are going to care to read, much less want to read. Talking about how he went limp because of the period diaper and she tried to help him get an erection again. Like, y'all look at this. This is a picture of Nick and Gypsy that night at the movie theater when they pretended to meet, or did not pretend, but did meet for the first time. This is when they met for the first time, when she was dressed up as Cinderella, and you can kind of see the collar of his shirt, the dress shirt that she says she sent him, because she says she sent him dress clothes to wear so he would look nice for her mom. Also, who took this picture of them if her mom didn't like him?
They could have maybe took it themselves in the theater.
Well, yeah, I guess so, because it's dark. I didn't think about that. And it is like a close-up pic, like one of them may have been holding the phone. Like you can kind of see her leaning more toward the screen a little bit, like maybe she was holding the phone taking the picture. I didn't think about that. But And not only that, though, but she tries to say he was an abuser to her as well. Why would you try to help someone that was doing that to you get an erection? The lies are just, ridiculous. There was nothing she could do, though, to help him after seeing a grown woman bleeding into a diaper. So she says he tried to stuff his softness into her in the name of owning her. What the heck are we reading? Can we move on from these parts and get on with the story, Gypsy? Please. Goodness. Okay, y'all, let's start the last half and see if she can get through it without being sexual at all. Okay, here we go. Remember, she left off talking about him getting the job with Little Caesars or something. I'll back it up 30 seconds.
The front doors of the IMAX building. I better go, I said to Nick, a nervousness rising within me. He escorted me to the front doors and told me he'd call me when he got on the bus back to Wisconsin. I had bought him the bus ticket since he didn't work. He told me he used to have a job being the guy who held up the Little Caesars sign on the major roads, but that didn't work out. He spent a lot of time hanging out in the McDonald's that was within walking distance of his house, since they had Wi-Fi there. Nick had been arrested for disorderly conduct for masturbating to porn at the McDonald's. That was something that came out in the discovery process after our arrests. Mama was not a fast walker, but on this day, she was way ahead of me already in the parking lot. I was spinning the wheels of my chair, calling her name, "Mama, wait for me." She just proceeded to get in the van, pretending not to hear me, dismissing me completely. I knew she wouldn't leave me there. It would be too visible, too high profile. I met her at the van, transferred myself into the passenger seat, while without words, she folded up my chair, opened the back van door, and took some of her anger out on the wheelchair, flinging it inside. "What were you thinking?" she said. I could tell she was seething because she was sighing to catch air, her breathing erratic and heavy. "Are you trying to kill me? You know I'm not well, Gypsy. I swear if I die, it'll be you who killed me. You already tried to shoot me once." All I could think of as she spoke so hatefully to me was that I wanted to get high. "I didn't purposely try to kill you with BBs, Mama. I was trying to leave." Any hope I had of being with Nick had been sucked out of me, along with my naivete. No plans could save me now. I didn't know what my fate would be with Nick being far away again and Mama more pissed off than ever. I closed my eyes and tried to calm myself with the thought of crushing Mama's oxy and injecting the pain-killing powder right into my feeding tube. Instant relief. When we got back home, she took the handles of my wheelchair, signaling that she would be pushing me to my destination. Her cadence was pointed and determined as she marched me not up the wheelchair ramp to the front door, but around the house and into the backyard. "Mama, what's going on? I'm sorry. Mama, I'm sorry. I'll be good." "Save it," she said. "You're a liar and you take me for a fool. You think you're just going to run off with this boy now? Whore. Fool me once." She walked us past the bald patch in the grass, where the cursed mason jar was buried, and brought me to the shed. When we were first given the Habitat for Humanity house, the program workers found out that I wished for a playhouse. So they painted the shed the same pink color as our house and made it look like a miniature version. A playhouse just for Gypsy. Except I never went out there. For one thing, my mother never let me outside. There was never a moment during the day when Mama would ever say, "Let's get outside and get some sun on our face." Never. Second, I'm afraid of bugs, and bugs were everywhere in the shed. The shed might have looked like a mini house, but the inside floor was made of dirt, where slugs and fire ants, and worse, spiders lived. As dust blanketed the sky, the temperature dipped, and I was officially freaked out. I asked her cautiously, as if walking through a minefield, "Mama, what are we doing?" "You can't be trusted," she said, her mind well made up. "Get in." "No, stop, Mama." My sobs failed to penetrate, bring her back to this world. She was somewhere else now, riding a wave of hatred and jealousy, fear and recklessness. She pushed me into the shed. "Get out of the chair," she said. Even alone in the dark out back, where nobody would think to look for us, I transferred myself out of the chair as if my legs really didn't work. I placed myself on the ground, among the big black garbage bags full of shoplifted garments, tears spilling onto the dirt. My stomach turns over when I play this moment back in my mind. I could have used the chair to bust right past her. She clearly didn't want to leave me alone in the shed with my wheelchair, in case I'd use it as a tool to break down the door. But I wonder if I would have done that at all. I look back at that little girl whose mind had been bent by a lifetime of indoctrination, and see she wouldn't have fought back. Or maybe I was just too close to the cursed mason jar, where the spell still held power. Gypsy will never be happy. She will never be free. She took an about face and walked out, slamming the shed door behind her. Mama, don't just leave me in here. Mama, the spiders. The angry clanks of the padlock were her only response. I was hungry, thirsty, freezing, scared, and the most desperate I had ever felt. And her pills were all the way back in the house. Did Nick get on the bus okay? Is he asleep on the back of a comfortable coach bus, his head held up by the window? Was he a window or an aisle person? There was so much I didn't know about him that now I'd never find out. I tried to focus on Nick to keep my fear of the spiders at bay. If I fall asleep, will they crawl in my ears and up my nose? Without my CPAP machine, will they creep into my mouth and lay eggs? I had to stay awake and keep watch for Mama. Maybe she would miss me, alone in her bed, and come and get me. I tried to send her telepathic messages. She always said we were connected in a special way. Plus, she had powers. Come get me. Come get me. Come get me. After ripping open one of the bags to find warm clothes, I finally fell asleep. My telepathic messages worked, but not in the way I expected. I had a dream in which Thad and Christy were cooking in the kitchen of the little blue house. I was my age, but my body was childlike. I sat on the floor teasing my two cats with feather toys, but they turned into my brother and sister, Dylan and Mia. I was so happy, but so mad at them at the same time. Happy because I was no longer alone, but mad because my dad had left me for them. Then suddenly, I'm at a police station with these really nice people wrapping blankets around me. Christy and Dad were there talking to a detective. Christy was crying, even though she looked happy. The detective and the nice people with blankets met with all of us in a room. They were introducing me to Christy and Dad because in my dream, I didn't know them, even though I did. It's hard to explain. Gypsy, do you know where you are? The detective asked. Where's Mama? I asked, scanning the room of adults who looked at me like I was about to break. They proceeded to tell me that Christy and Dad had been looking for me all my life. Gypsy, we have to let you know that Dee Dee is not your real mother. Christy is. The police station transformed into an open park. Now I was skipping around Disney World. My long curly hair danced around my waist as I held the hands of Christy and Dad, flanked by them. I felt a strong sense of relief that my life was not what it seemed, and finally someone did come get me. When I woke up, I was disoriented. I looked around the shed and could see some sunlight peeking in. My fingers and toes were numb, and I must have slept hard because I had drool on my cheek. She had left me there all night, overnight, alone and scared. Depression drenched me as I reconciled the fact that my dream wasn't real, that the pure joy I felt being reunited with my real family was as fictional as the life I had lived with my mother. Mama didn't come to let me out of the shed until about noon. She wasn't an early riser by habit, so why would she make a concession on this day? When she opened up the door, her body language exuded the power of a victor over her spoils. I thought that upon seeing her, I'd be more afraid, or angry, or despondent. But I felt nothing, like all of my emotions had been zapped out of me in a sterile shock treatment room. Back to the house, she said, her hands gripping the portable wheelchair. I transferred myself from the ground to the chair, and she wheeled me back to the house. We had an appointment with the ENT we couldn't miss.
Okay, y'all remember the whole BB Pew Pew thing? She said that she did not know it was a BB Pew Pew until after she had unloaded it. Then she realized it was a BB Pew Pew, and then she went back to say, at a different time that she did know it was a BB Pew Pew. We showed that y'all in a separate video, not about the book, but in a separate video where she said one thing on Kel Lowry's podcast and another thing at another time, two different things. But regardless, with this second half, nope, she couldn't get through even half a chapter, y'all, without having to mention something sexual. She started with how he hung out at how Nick hung out at the local McDonald's near his house because they had Wi-Fi there, but got arrested one time for disorderly conduct, and she couldn't just leave it there, y'all. She had to tell us it was for the M word or Emming pleasuring himself in the parking lot watching corn, which is not true. He would have gotten other charges than disorderly conduct, I would think.
Yeah.
Depending on the officer. I mean, he had just been, I think, downloading corn and got disorderly conduct. But I think it's up to the officer's discretion. But I mean, if he was actually in the midst of pleasuring himself when the officer walked up. He would have gotten other charges. It wouldn't have just been disorderly conduct, you know. The officer probably walked up and seen what he was downloading or looking at on his computer in a public place, and that's why he got disorderly conduct.
Yeah.
Okay, like I was wondering about that. But
like what this book seems to be.
Yes, exactly what this book is. Corn, like a darn corno. Like, OMG. Did y'all hear it when she said that was something that came out in the discovery of their arrest process? That Nick getting arrested was something that came out in the discovery of their arrest process. Yet she literally was talking to the officer standing at the door waiting on the investigators to get there from Missouri to Wisconsin, where they initially were arrested at Nick's home, about how her boyfriend got arrested the year before for that, and if he's done something again, she's going to be so mad at him. Gypsy, why do you want your daughter to read all these lies?
Her daughter will know what she is.
Yeah, and it will probably be way before she's 18. My goodness. Like, what do y'all think? Seriously. Because I absolutely believe her daughter will know way before she's 18. Then she literally says her mom told her, quote, "If I die, Gypsy, it will be you that kills me." Or, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, that unalives me. I didn't mean to say that word. Y'all know what I meant. And that would make me or any normal person feel awful, though, if someone said that to them. Not Gypsy, though. She just thought about how she wanted to get high. Like, what the heck? She tries to say when they got back home, her mom took the handles off her wheelchair to push her where they were going, which was to her playhouse right beside the house. And Gypsy was yelling, "Stop, Mama, I'm sorry, I'll be good," and all that crap. Yet no one saw or heard this going on. What do y'all think about it? She says that her mom wheeled her past the bald patch of grass and all of that, around the house, to the back, to the playhouse, and all that. We also know that the playhouse floor was not made of dirt. It had carpet. Y'all look. This was her playhouse, this little blue shed right here. And y'all can even see the ramp right here with the railings. But y'all can see that this is a ramp where she could get up it in her wheelchair. Like, seriously, like, I swear Dip Jip is delusional or just, I don't know. We all know she stalks creators' pages and stuff like that, so we all know she's seen this stuff. So please explain, Dipsy Gypsy, please explain. She says her mom made her stay in the playhouse out of hatred and jealousy. Y'all know all of us, literally every one of us, is jealous of Gypsy in her mind anyway. Like, oh, the eye rolls, y'all. The eye rolls. My goodness. Dip Jip, your daughter will see all this truth one day. The actual truth. Not your truth, but the actual truth one day. I hope you know that. Or when she confronts you with it, are you going to say she's jealous of you too? My goodness. What do y'all seriously think? Like, what do y'all think her daughter will honestly think of her? Like, truly and honestly, what do y'all think her daughter will think of her? Because in my opinion, I think it will, I think it'll push her daughter away. I really do.
Yeah.
But Gypsy said her mom literally yelled at her to get up and get out of the chair. Y'all see, this is inside the playhouse. The pictures that we're about to show now is inside the playhouse. You can clearly see right here that there's carpet. It's all carpet, not dirt. But anyway, Gypsy said her mom yelled at her to get up and get out of the chair. Again, Gypsy, why didn't you get up and run or refuse? You said in the previous chapter of your book, your mom was literally scared crapless of you, and you are scared crapless of her. Remember that? That your mom was scared crapless of you and that y'all were nose to nose. So why didn't you stand up to her? You also just said that she told you you knew she was sick. So I think you could have gotten past her if you wanted to. If this even happened, which in my opinion, I don't think it did.
No.
Then she says she was thirsty, cold, scared, this and that, and above all else, she was worried about her mom's painkillers being all the way back inside the house. Then, after worrying about where the painkillers were, she says she was worried about did Nick get home okay. My goodness, this couldn't be more foolish than a fairy tale, which, in my opinion, that's what it is in Gypsy's head, a tale. A tall tale, and she knows it. She says she finally fell asleep and had this dream of Christy and her dad cooking in the kitchen of the blue house, which, remember, she lived in when they were in Louisiana with her grandpa Claude. And she was playing with her cats, who turned into her brother and sister, Dylan and Mia. She was angry at them and then happy.
She meant to say jealous.
She probably did. She probably really did. And y'all also see this bed here? It's like the size of like a twin bed almost. Like it's got little railings on it. But I mean, it was somewhere for her to sleep if she did have to stay there all night. I'm just saying, like, look at the size of the bed there. And it even has like a little mat on it, a padded mat on it. Exactly, probably what she slept on in prison, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of what it looks like. One of those thin little mats you see like on movies and TV shows and stuff. But anyway, y'all can see the carpet there and the bed that was in there, like, and even a fan. Like, come on, she's so ridiculous. But yeah, she probably really did mean to say jealous. Jealous is what she has always been of Mia and Dylan and Christy and her dad too, I believe, in my opinion. Again, Gypsy, why don't you have a standoff with your dad and make him answer you as to why he didn't try to be in your life more or get custody or joint custody because he thought you were better off with your mom? That's not a good excuse. Do y'all believe she really had this dream that Christy was her real mom and the police station turned into a park and they were at Disney and she was skipping around all happy and whatnot? Notice Dylan and Mia wasn't a part of that part of the dream. Goodness, y'all. I think it's actually a load of crap, really. One that her and Christy probably came up with to put in the book. What do you think, Hobby?
Same thing.
I mean, I really do think her and Christy probably came up with this to put in the book. Because who remembers a dream like that? I just don't believe you're going to remember a dream like that from that many years ago and that vividly either. Heck, y'all, I can't even remember a vivid dream I woke up from days ago. Those dreams that y'all know what I'm talking about, like the dreams y'all wake up from, that you wake up from and remember everything, like every detail of it, colors, not colors, everything. You remember everything. Then forget half of it when you try to tell someone or something like that. Like I don't remember the last time I had a real vivid dream, but I know there's been a time where I woke up from a real vivid dream and you were asking me was I okay, and like I went to try to tell you about it, and like as soon as like, and this was right after I woke up from it, and as soon as I went to tell you about it, half of it was gone. I couldn't even remember the details of it.
You be so mad.
Yeah. I would be, for real. I'd be so mad because I knew I had just woke up from it. It's right there in my head, and you know, you feel like, well, dang, if you could just see inside my head, you would see what I dreamed, you know? Like, and even those vivid dreams, you can't even remember them when you go to tell someone, like, right after they happen. So I don't see how she remembers this dream so vividly this many years later. What do y'all think about that? Because y'all seen the pics where she had carpet and she had a little play bed that's actually the size of a twin bed, like I was saying, in it as well, with toys and dolls and stuff. So what the heck? I mean, it did look like she played in this. There was even a fan in there for her in the window of it. There was a window, a screen window at that. Like, you could have broke through the window. And heck, you had a tub of toys sitting right there. You could have used that tub full of toys to break through the window. So I don't believe her mom locked her in there and didn't give her her wheelchair so that she couldn't break the door down. Like,
No.
who is she trying to fool here? You know your daughter's going to see these pictures one day, right? Because she's going to be curious and she's going to look this stuff up. What do y'all seriously think of this whole chapter or section, whatever you want to call it? We're going to start doing our best to get more of the book out each week so that we can get through it by the end of the month. That way we will be through all of it before the show airs on March 10th, just so y'all know.
Yeah.
But what did y'all think of this section? Y'all seriously let us know what y'all thought of each part of it, and especially about this ending part and the whole playhouse, and what y'all think her daughter will think of her, and what y'all think her daughter will do, like as far as when she finds out the truth and all of that. And like, what do y'all think her daughter will say, or do y'all think her daughter will confront her with the truth and with these types of pictures and stuff like we were just showing y'all? What do y'all think? Anyway, we hope y'all enjoyed listening. We hope y'all enjoyed our commentary on this section and stuff. And we'll see y'all in the next one. And we hope y'all have a good night and God bless.
Have a good night. God bless.
Bye.
Bye.